Hey guys, so like I said, this is gonna be a very quick everyday makeup look. It's gonna be, I'm gonna try my best to use only drugstore affordable products. And yeah, I'm gonna walk you through what I usually do when I have to do my makeup really quick and just get going for the day. And the kids are running around crazy and I have no time, so this is what happens. Okay, so before priming my face or anything like that, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. I'm just looking for one of my palettes to use the mirror. Okay, so I am using the Maybelline New York Brow Ultra Slim pencil in shade 257 medium brown, and that's what that looks like. Okay, so this is one of my favorite drugstore brow pencils. I switch between the e.l.f. and this for drugstore, and then if I'm not doing drugstore, my usual go-to is the Anastasia. But these ones work as well, and they definitely are more affordable. This one's a bit lighter for me right now because I have pretty dark brown hair on my roots. Like, this is not my natural color. This is so this is definitely a bit lighter, but I definitely think it still works. So I've been using it. My husband picked this up for me, and it wasn't an exact shade, but you know what? He did pretty good for not knowing anything about this stuff. So I'm not gonna complain. So yeah, see, like you can see the difference, and I'm not going all crazy trying to fill it in like crazy because again, this is a quick makeup look. I'm not gonna take my time to make my brows perfect, just trying to make them look a bit more even, just because I do have a lot of missing hairs here and there. So I just try to like even it out a bit, just fill in those gaps. Like right here, I have quite a big gap, at least I think so. And I don't really like how it looks, so I usually don't leave the house without at least filling in that one little spot right at the arch right there. I have a lot of missing hair. I know I'm gonna probably have to end up getting my brows microbladed because my mom has alopecia, but it's only localized. It's really weird. And it runs in the family. A lot of the women in my mom's side of the family, they lost their eyebrows. It just recently happened to my mom, so I think I have some time before that happens. But, you know, it doesn't really freak me out because they have these magic little pencils, and again, they have the microbladed option. That would definitely be more on the long run type of thing. Oh, by the way, if you guys hear the lullaby, it's just because my daughter is sleeping in her room and I have the baby monitor on. I try to put it away from me so it's not as loud, but yes, she's sleeping, and my husband took my son out for an arcade day and I think they were gonna do bowling, just the two of them. They're having a daddy Sunday, so I'm just gonna brush it through just to, you know, make it look softer, more natural, just like that. Usually if I'm going for like a full on look, not just an everyday look, I will go ahead and conceal with the concealer around to shape and clean it up. But that's why I was trying to be a little bit more precise and not completely filling them in, just kind of going on the outer parts of it. Okay, so we've done that. So now the next step I like to do is prime the face. So actually, usually I do the eyes first, but since I'm not doing an eye look, I am gonna go in with some color, but it's just gonna be my bronzer. So I'm not too worried about fallout or anything like that. So I am gonna do my face first today. So I'm gonna go with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I love this stuff. Like, this is pretty new, and I've gone through a decent amount. It just feels so good. I have very dry skin, and it makes it feel a bit moisturized, really. It's thicker. It's definitely thicker, but I feel like it makes my face feel less dry when I go in with the makeup, especially in this area. I get really dry in this area. That's why you see me concentrating mostly on this area. I need extra help here because this is the driest part of my face, is right here and right here, and I do flake a lot. If I keep looking down, guys, I'm sorry. I position my mirror weird, and I don't want to move it now because then it's gonna mess up everything. So I'm just gonna leave it there. So I'm sorry if it's annoying that I'm looking down, guys, but I am looking in a mirror. Okay, so then I'm doing the rest of my face, trying to be careful because I have nails and I don't really want to end up with a bunch of primer underneath my nails, so I'm just trying to... Okay, so I'm putting a very small amount on the rest of my face. I concentrated mostly here, like I said. I usually, if I'm doing a crazy, you know, all-out look, I mix my primers. I love to mix my primers, so I use a more moisturizing, pore filling right here, and then I go with a more, just anything really here, any other primer that'll just make my makeup stick better. But that's what we're using today. Okay, so I am conflicted on what foundation to use, so I'm still gonna be thinking about it. So lately, what I've been, when I do a simpler look, I'm not trying to like do a lot of heavy makeup products like the foundation or heavy concealers. I like to color correct right here because this mama is tired a lot, so you can see it underneath the eyes. I have very dark circles, so for that I use the e.l.f. color correcting stick. It looks like this. It's kind of like a crayon, and then it twists and it looks just like that. So then I like to go in and just go underneath the area, anywhere that you have darkness. And I used to use a green concealer for color correcting the redness, but honestly this works fine for the redness too. So I go ahead and where I get that hormonal redness that a lot of us ladies get, or wherever I have pimples, I go ahead and cover it up with this. I get some discoloration around here, so anywhere pretty much that my face is doing something funky with colors, I just put this on top and try to, you know, minimize it a little bit. I usually use my sponge, but I'm gonna just use one of these brushes just to spread it out a little bit before I go in with my foundation. Just, I don't want it to be so thick, so I'm gonna go ahead and spread it out. I'm gonna put even a little tiny bit, whatever's on my brush right now, and put it on my lids. And I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this out. It does not look cute, but it works. I found that since I've been doing this, it definitely takes less amount of concealer to cover up any darkness I have, which is good because, you know, you don't want a bunch of product on your face, like a lot of the heavier stuff like the foundations and concealers, because then a lot of the time it just ends up looking cakey. And I also don't like feeling like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. I want to look like I'm wearing makeup, but I don't want to feel it all day because that's just not comfortable. So I'm almost done blending this out. I should have used a bigger brush. I don't know why I'm using this tiny little one. It's taking so much longer. Okay. This defeats the purpose of being in a fast, everyday look. This right here. So next time, don't use such a little brush, okay? You can use your sponge, or you can go ahead and use a bigger brush. Okay, so we did that. Now, these are two of my favorite drugstore foundations, and I don't know which one I want to do. So I have the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover. It has broad spectrum SPF 50, and it's in color 112 Natural Ivory. And this is what that looks like. Got it from CVS, clearly. And then I have the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation with SPF 25. I didn't even notice that it had SPF till now, and I've had this forever. Well, that's cool. Okay, cool. Okay, so I have that one, and the shade is the 415, which is, it has a name. I swear it has a name. Rose Ivory. Okay, so I don't know which one I want to do. I think I'm gonna go with the lighter one, just because I do think I'm gonna expand on the look after I shoot this video and create a makeup look as well, and I think the lighter foundation will work better for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Infallible foundation. I'm just gonna start with 2 for now in the back of my hand. Ah, dropped it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put this all over the face. Just take it all from the back. I always forget I put makeup in the back of my hand, and then I leave the house and I feel like I look crazy, because it always dries into all funky colors because I just layer everything there, and I walk out of my house, and then while I'm driving or something, I'll notice it, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I completely forgot to remove that. I don't know why I never think to clean my hands, well, the back of my hands. I always wash my hands very good, like on the inside of my hands, because I'm always swatching using my fingers, but like a lot of this makeup is hard to remove, so like it usually needs a little extra help with a makeup remover wipe or something, and that's the step I forget to do. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more pump on the back of my hand. I'm gonna pick that up with the sponge, and just the areas that I think need a little extra coverage, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. And since I didn't shape with a concealer my eyebrows, I just like to kind of outline the outer part of it with some of the foundation, and then that cleans it up. Not as much as it would if you go with a smaller brush and a concealer, but again, we're trying to do a quick makeup look, so that's okay. We don't need it to be perfect. We just need to look less tired when we go out. Okay, so that's the foundation. I think that's good for now. Cover that up. And then I'm probably gonna layer my concealers, just because one is lighter than the other, and I want to cover dark circles, but then I want to also use the concealer to kind of highlight. So let's see what happens, because I usually use the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye on Dry concealer, but we're doing affordable drugstore videos, so we're gonna go with one of my other favorite concealers, which is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer, and the shade is Porcelain L150. Yes, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just do a little V, or I guess a triangle, not a V, just a tiny bit on the lids, and I think I'm gonna leave it at that, just because I think I'm gonna use the lighter concealer for the rest of the highlighting. So we're gonna just blend that out. And this is clearly not taking a very short amount of time to do, but it's just because I'm talking to you guys. If I was doing this and I was in an actual hurry and I had somewhere to go and I wasn't talking to you guys, I would get this done in, I would say 5-10 minutes tops, but it definitely doesn't take a long time. But if I get to talking, I like to talk. So then, you know, that takes a little bit longer to do. Okay, so you can see, you can still see some of my bags. So that's why I usually prefer to go with the IT Cosmetics first and then highlight with a different concealer underneath, on top. But this is an everyday look, so I don't really care if a little bit of my bags is showing, just because, again, I'm not looking for like full coverage, full face. So now I'm using the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer in Light Sand. And this is what I use for more of a highlight. So since I'm doing more of a highlight, I will take it on the nose, a little bit right here. And I do a little bit here. And we have to work, I forgot that this is e.l.f. So you have to work fast with this because it does dry down pretty fast. I forgot for a second. I usually try to do one section at a time just so it doesn't dry, but I forgot. Okay, no, we're still good. We're good. We're good. We're safe, guys. It's blending out. Yes, it works. It works. Okay. Maybe it's because I put it on top of that CoverGirl concealer. I usually always put it on top of the IT Cosmetics. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. I'm gonna have to test that out later. See which one it dries faster. Maybe it has to do with what concealer you put it on top or what's going underneath. Okay. Ooh, so I look so ghostly right now. Okay. Excuse me. We're not doing a ghost makeup look, guys. I promise. We're gonna bring some color back into this pale face. Okay, so I kind of want to do a little bit of contouring, just slightly, just because I am using the paler foundation. I wouldn't do this if I was using the Maybelline foundation, just because I do believe, I'm just going to do the powder through there. Yeah, I only use this if the foundation happens to be a little bit lighter than I am. Then just to bring a little bit of extra warmth to the face, I'll go ahead and do this step. Otherwise, I normally don't do this step. So go ahead and bronze the face up a bit before we set it all with powder. Drag it back to the neck just so the color is even, and then again it's a lot lighter, so like I'll drag my bronzer down to my neck just to even everything out in a little bit. Oh, and this is the e.l.f. contouring brush, by the way. Looks like this. I like it. I've had this forever, I feel like, and like it's just so perfect for getting like this shape right here. And it's so easy to clean. I love when brushes are easy to clean and that still look the same after you clean them, because a lot of them, they look beat up after you clean them. I don't know if it's that I'm cleaning them too hard, or I don't know. I don't know if it's me. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I could be. That's definitely a possibility. But yeah, I don't have that issue with this one. I don't have that issue with any of the e.l.f. brushes, actually. Okay, so whatever's left over my brush I'm going to use here. I know I said I wasn't going to do this here, but why not? I like to put a little bit right underneath my lip. It just makes the lip area look bigger, and I don't have to, I mean, I don't have small lips, but I don't have the biggest lips. Okay, so there we go. And then we're gonna clean up this with a powder. I know it looks a little weird right now, but it all comes together in the end, I promise. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade 05 Fair. This is what it looks, upside down. This is what that looks like. And it comes a little cap. This stuff is awesome. And I like to, a lot of the time, I just kind of like tap it into the cap. And I go ahead and use a brush or my sponge, depends on the area of my face or the day. I switch it up all the time. I feel like I never do my steps the same way ever. Like, I always switch it up. Which is weird because in regular life, I'm a creature of habit. And I like to do things a certain way, but when it comes to my makeup, I switch it up all the time, which is surprising even to myself. Okay, so I'm just evening out this section here. Make sure that I don't have any creasing, or just blending out where the creases form. Make sure it hasn't settled. Before I go in with the powder, I'm going to go in with a sponge for the eye area. And I'm just gonna pat it. I'm not doing like a crazy bake. I'm just slightly just patting some product there just because I do have very fine lines underneath my eyes. I feel like I've always had them though. I don't know. I've had them since I was like a teenager. So, see, like it settles in a little bit right there. So I just kind of like pat it out with the sponge or this, with the sponge on my finger. Before I go in and set everything in. I'm gonna do a little bit on the lid. Make sure you pat it out. And just kind of put it on there. And now we have our eyes set. I dusted off a little bit, but I'm not doing it yet. I'm gonna let that little bit of powder sit there for a little bit. Again, it's not a lot. Not when I bake, I use a lot of powder. Like it's very noticeable. I did a very light amount today. Okay, so for the rest of my face, I think I'm gonna just dust it on instead of putting it on with the brush. So I'm just gonna dip my, this is a fair brush. I'm gonna dip it in there and I'm just gonna pounce it all over my face and kind of just like blend it out. Sections like my nose, like on the sides of my nose, I am gonna just kind of like leave it there for a little bit. I'm not gonna swipe it away. This part I do very gently, and then I am gonna go with the sponge right here, but I'm gonna do that after I put my bronzer on. Okay, so that, and then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna use the same brush. I do that a lot too. I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but again, this is a fast look. When you're going fast, you don't have time to be looking around for brushes and changing it up. So I'm just gonna go ahead with the same brush. I kind of just like wiped it off, and then I'm gonna use my NYX. Me and my husband have this debate all the time, because they sell it at his store, but he calls it NYX and I call it NYX. I don't know what the right way to say it is, but I'm gonna go with NYX. Okay, so taking a little bit like this. This is very pigmented, so you don't need a lot, and kind of just dusting it off. I'm gonna just bronze the face even more because, like I said, this is a lot lighter than me, so we do need the help. Oh, I think I forgot my blush. No, I did not bring my blush in here, guys. It's okay. I'll run out and get it in a second. Let's just finish up the bronzing. Okay, so this part is what I'm talking about. Like, if you're using a lighter foundation, you definitely want to make sure that you do this part. You want to make sure you drag pretty much every product, the foundation too. And I didn't drag as much of it because I forgot. But make sure you get back here. And if you're wearing a high ponytail or anything that shows off the back, you're gonna make sure that you just like get a little bit of everything, because you don't want to look like you're like 3 different colors, you know? It's not a very cute look. Okay, so and I'm taking very light amount of this because, like I said, it is very pigmented. Make sure you really blend that out. Right now, it's looking crazy because my eyes are not done. But I promise, it comes together. And sometimes I do go a little bit overboard with the bronzer, and if that happens, you just go in with that finishing powder again over it just a little bit and just to tone it down. But I'm not going to do that yet. I want to see what it looks like with the blush. Okay, so I'll be right back. I need to go get my, what is it called? My blush. I'll be right back. I don't know where it went. Okay, so I'm cheating here a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. This is not drugstore. This is the Ofra highlighter and blush palette. So I'm going to have to use this. I wanted a pinkier pink, but from Pixie, but I can't find it. Okay, so I'm just gonna use, again, same brush as the bronzer. And I'm gonna just dip into it. This one, I feel like you need quite a lot to show up on the skin, so. Okay, so after this, we're gonna do the eyes and see if, like, you know, if it all comes together, because sometimes it does look crazy now, but then you do the eyes and it looks fine. But if it looks too crazy, then we're just gonna fix it up at the end. Okay, so we did that. Okay, so for the eyes, on a quick makeup look day, when you don't have time to do much, what I like to do is go on and use, I forgot to contour my nose. I gotta go back to that. Okay, I'm gonna use my Motor brush. Just 1 second. It's Motor brush. And it says it's a shading brush. I'm gonna use that bronzer. And I'm just gonna place that right on the crease. And just blend that out. And if you want a less brown look, because this is a deeper, warmer brown, then the other bronzer that I love to use, and I like to use it on my eyes as well, is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Oh my god, that stuff is amazing. It smells amazing. I'm gonna drag it a little bit down into the lid area, just on the outer portion. Just like that, so the lid is not bare. Trying to think if I wanna drag it up a little bit more just to make it a bit more noticeable. It really depends on the day. Sometimes I don't even do this step. When I don't have time to do this step, what I like to do, which I think I'm gonna do now anyways, is I just like to take a highlighter, any highlighter really, and I just swipe that across my lid and call it a day. Throw on some mascara, and that's my eye look. But we're doing just a tiny little bit extra today. Go. Okay, so that's good for now. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do my lower lash line as well, because we're using just this, and this is a little bit powdery. That's why I like to tap off or blow away the excess. And then I'm using a Moda brush, a smudge Moda brush. And you can find these Moda brushes at Walmart, so they're very affordable. So I'm just taking that and I'm smudging it on the bottom lash, just to bring some more color into the face. I hope I'm not covering you guys. Probably was. Okay, so taking that. And you can bring this down as much as you want if you want a fluffier brush. Actually, let's do that. I'm gonna take a fluffier brush. This is a brush that just came with one of my Urban Decay palettes. I'm gonna go in with it clean first, actually. I'm just gonna go ahead and see, because sometimes that's enough. Sometimes I go into it and after I blend it out, I'm like, I want it a little bit more intense. So then I add a little bit more. See, like right now, I want a little more. So I'm just gonna tap it in really quick. And I'm just gonna go ahead and I also find that when I do this and I smoke out my lower lash, it hides that tiny line that I've always had right there. That's the line that a lot of my concealers like to cellar. My English is not very good today. Okay, let's try that again. My concealer likes to settle in that little fine line that I have right there. I have it on both eyes. So when I smoke out my lower lash with whatever color I'm doing for that day, it doesn't really matter what color it is. Any color helps it out. And it like conceals it. You can't see it. Well, I'm sure you can see it, just not very visible. Okay, so see, now we have some color in the eye, which is good. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I've been really loving my Huda Beauty highlighter and the Laura Geller highlighter. I've been mixing those a lot, but those are not drugstore, So I dug into my Pixie collection, and I have this Pixie by Petra Duo, Beauty Blush Duo. So it's supposed to be a blush, but I like to use this as a highlighter sometimes. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's do the highlighting portion first. I think I'm gonna go into this pinky color, and I'm just gonna kind of like just press it on in that area. It's not a very dramatic highlight. Actually, let me brush away whatever's here. There's not much on there, but I forgot that I still have powder sitting there. Oh, and I forgot to clean this up. Guys, I'm a mess today. But I love you all. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take some of the powder and just leave it on there until I'm done, because I forgot to do it earlier. And this really just cleans up the face when it's looking crazy. Because guys, I'm not a professional in any way. I just like playing with makeup. And I'm showing you guys how I play with makeup. Okay, so I'm gonna take that and just press it on. Kind of a highlight. I like to put a little bit on top of my brow bones. Well, yeah, on top of the brow. I could have done a better job at filling that in. I might still go back. I have such uneven eyebrows, but that's okay because nobody's perfect. Okay, so I just realized again that I forgot to contour my nose. So I'm gonna go ahead with this Farrah brush. I like it because of the shape. I don't know if you can see it. It makes it easier to, I go in with the same bronzer and I just kind of shape out my nose. It just adds, you know, more definition to your nose, makes it look skinnier, cuter. Not that I have a big nose, but I do like it to be defined when I'm wearing makeup. Okay, then I'm gonna take a little bit and I'm gonna put it right underneath my lip. Just a little bit, just like that. I'm gonna put a little bit right here. I have uneven lips too. It's kind of hard to tell when I'm talking and stuff, but I can tell when I take pictures. If they're straight on, that's why I don't usually take straight on pictures. But I don't know if you can see, but right there, it makes the lips look more defined. See? Okay. So, where were we? Okay, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna take the same Pixie Beauty Blush Duo that I use as a highlighter, and I am gonna take it on my finger. I'm gonna mix the both actually. And I'm kind of, since it's a little shimmery, I'm gonna take my Pixie Glow Mist. It looks like. I'm gonna spray my finger a little bit just to make it look a little bit more foiled. And I'm just gonna put that right on the lid, just to add a little bit more dimension. You see? I'm gonna go back into that color, spray my finger again, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same in the other eye. There we go. And then if you want, if it's looking a little crazy, you can go ahead with the same brush that you use just to blend everything out, and just kind of go right on the crease, make sure that it's all blended out nicely. You can leave it at that, or if you want, which is what I'm gonna do because I'm being a little extra, but again, you don't have to do it if you have no time and you want to be quick. You don't have to do this step, but for those that have that little extra time, go in back to the bronzer and just deepen up that outer corner, just to bring in more dimension. Okay, there we go. So press it right on the outer part of your lid and then blend that up to the crease, just like that. I'm not gonna do a liner or anything like that. Okay, let's see what's next. Let's see, do I want to do anything else? Do I want to do a liner? You don't have to do a liner if you're doing quick look, but you can. I think I'm just gonna go with my ColourPop. It's not drugstore, but it's drugstore pricing, so I count it as drugstore because it's still affordable. It's a creme gel liner, and it's in the shade Overboard. It's kind of like a bronzy color, and I'm just gonna line my waterline with this. It's not super noticeable, but when the light hits it a certain way, you can see it because it does have a bit of a, I guess, a shimmer, a shine. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that. You can do it on top and then smudge it a little bit, but again, I'm just gonna keep it simple, so I'm gonna leave it at that. And then you can go ahead and curl your lashes. I already did before I started shooting this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and just do it like once or twice more. So just take your lash curler and curl your lashes. If you're not using falsies or anything like that, I'm not gonna be using falsies because again, nobody has time, or at least I don't have time to be putting on falsies for a day where I'm rushing with the kids. So just make sure you curl your lashes good and then you use a good mascara. This is not the mascara that I go to on an everyday basis, but if I have to choose a drugstore mascara, this is an oldie but a goodie. I love this stuff, and it's, you know, it's been around for a while, but it still works. It's the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume Mascara, and this is in the shade Very Black. Actually, yeah, let's do this. Okay. Let's see if I still know how to use this wand. I feel like it's very different than the ones I've been using lately. I might cheat one more time and use the Hank and Henry for my lower lash. But you know what? We'll see. Okay, so I don't know how many coats I'm going to do with this. Because again, if you're not using falsies and you still want your eyelashes to show up, you might have to go in with more than one coat. So am I the only one that can't keep a face that doesn't look ridiculous when doing mascara? Like, I'm really trying right now not to make a crazy face. I feel like I'm usually like I don't know why, like my mouth needs to be open usually when I'm doing mascara. I always feel the need to do that. I can't be the only one. Guys, you guys let me know. Who else needs to do the weirdest looking face in order to put mascara on? I'm sure it can't just be me. I mean, that's not bad. This is the mascara that I used to use religiously in high school. Like, this was my go-to. It was affordable. It did what it needed to do. You know? I can't believe it's still like a mascara that I would still use. Like, I forget that I have this mascara because it's so, like, it's been around for so long and so many other mascaras have come out that you kind of forget about, you know, your old go-tos. I'm kind of glad I picked this out today because I forgot how much I like this. Like, it's pretty. Like, I have very short lashes and like they make them look pretty. Do I want to use this for my bottom lashes? Ugh, I feel like I'm gonna make a mess. Okay, guys, I suck at doing my bottom lashes. Like, I get it all over the place. I'm just not good at it. I'm really good at removing it though. So you guys will see how I remove it, because I always mess it up. I'm gonna go with this one, which is a thicker one, but we're gonna make it work. Guys, I'm nervous. This is so scary. Okay. Okay. It's not that bad. See? The mouth. It just opens by itself. I can't keep it closed. I just can't. I'll mess it up. It makes no sense. Okay. We're gonna leave it at that before like I really mess it up. I did get a little bit underneath the lashes, but I honestly don't think it's even that noticeable to the point that I feel like I have to remove it. So you know what? I think it's fine. Okay, let's see. Just looking at everything, making sure I didn't miss anything. I do kind of want to go over with the powder because I do think it looks a little bit too intense right there. But you know what? Let's just clean this up first. I'll have to do my lips, guys. Haha, my lips. Now let's do the powder first. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that Fit Me Maybelline powder. And then I'm just going to, right where it's really intense, I'm just going to tone it down a bit. Okay. I am so surprised that my daughter is still sleeping right now. I thought she was going to wake up halfway through me doing this. And you guys were going to have to see her little sassy attitude when she wakes up. Okay. Okay, so there's that. I think that's good. Okay, so for lip, again, simple. I'm not doing lip liner, not lipstick, just regular lip gloss. Okay, so this is ColourPop again. Not exactly drugstore, but it's drugstore pricing. It's still affordable. So I'm using the ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in Champagne. This is one of my favorite. I feel like I use this almost every day. It's just such a pretty shade. And I love using this one as a topper when I'm using other lipsticks or even other glosses. I actually feel like I mix this one a lot of the time. I put this one on top of other lip glosses because it is a lighter color, but it's such a pretty color. And I don't always do that lip thing that I did where I bronze underneath and pretty much all around my lips if I'm doing lip liner, but since I knew I wasn't gonna do a lip liner today, that's kind of why I did that extra step. So there's the lip liner. I'm gonna go ahead really quick and fix that right there. I don't like how that looks. Okay, so just gonna fill that space in. See how much better that is? And how quickly it is too? I feel like once I fix one side, I need to like do something to the other side. I always do that. Even if the other one's fine, I always find something wrong with it. Okay. Okay, that's better. There we go. It's a lot better. Okay, let's see. I just assess the situation. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use the same Pixie Beauty Blush Duo in Peach Honey that I use on my lid and to highlight my face. And I'm gonna put that on my inner corner, but I think I'm gonna spray it. See if it makes it a little bit more intense on a brush. I haven't tried this one like this, but we'll see. Oh, that works. Okay. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it does add a little bit of shine, a little bit of highlight. I'm just doing it again. Taking it to the other side. Adding more of that lighter color, this one right here. And I think I'm gonna take that as a brow highlight too. Just I'm gonna highlight the brow area right there. It's so awesome how you can take so many products and use it all over your face. Like we just did the bronzer for the contouring, for the eyes, and now we're using a blush as a highlighter for the cheek area, all over the face, the brow. Use it as a lid color. Like, I love makeup. It's awesome. Okay, so let's actually add just a little bit more right on the tip of the nose. I forgot to do my Cupid's bow. Make sure I don't get it on the lip gloss. Okay. And I think I hear my husband and my son are back. That was quick. Okay, so here we go. Here we have a look, and this is usually what I go for. It's an everyday look. I just throw my hair up in a ponytail or in a mum bun, and I do a little bit of this. Again, it took a little bit longer just because I was talking to you guys, but this is what I usually do. Sometimes I throw my contacts on, but today it's gonna be a glasses kind of day. So this is my easy, you know, not too heavy makeup. The eyes are really simple to do. Everything's pretty simple to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more of my makeup looks or just catch up, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, or go ahead and follow me on my Instagram. I'm gonna put it somewhere up here, and come say hi on my Instagram. That's where I'm most active, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye. Oh, one last thing. If you guys have any recommendations on any really awesome drugstore products, please let me know what they are in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys like to use on your face. Maybe I haven't tried some of those products. Maybe I could grab some of them. I love trying new makeup. So if any of you have any recommendations, please let me know below. And again, have a good day. Besos.